Okay, so now let's come to this. This is the little image I made for the cover, okay? For the cover of this sketch. And here you can have a feeling of a side view, okay, where we would have our wheels, okay, and the cylinder. So as you remember, we were talking about cylinders. How much important is a cylinder on any sketch, on any car sketch, because that it's thanks to that cylinder that we will really understand what we can do in terms of sculpture to our car sketch. So now let's start again from a side view, and then we will move to the perspective, okay? So when I make my nice side view, okay, I'm sketching with a felt tip because I think you can see better, and also because with my markers after it's gonna be kind of easier, okay? So in general, as I said, we make our side, and then we in general put our reflection here, okay? Here we leave a little highlight parts, okay? Then we have our side reflection of our glass, which is a cylinder, remember, cylinder number 1, and this is the cylinder number 2, cylinder number 1, okay? This is the ground line, okay? All right, so let me take a black marker, because with the black marker we're gonna make a little bit that, you know, a little bit of shadow, so we see things a little bit better, more in perspective, okay? And then you remember that here we're gonna put our reflection. Here it's a little bit because it's turning around. Same thing for the front windshield, okay? Just a little bit there, okay? And then, as I said, because this is all one cylinder, then here we'll have the other little part of the reflection on this front overhang and back overhang, okay? Okay, so now if I have to take a marker, you know, ciao Anish, welcome back. So if I take a marker just to do that, you can see I make it really like that, okay? Now let's wait that the marker dries, and then I will use a darker marker, which is this one. Hey, this time I'm using different type of markers, okay? The art marker, which I think are the Chinese cheap ones. I just want to try to use those up so that I can just buy the Copics and not have those markers anymore, because they are not really as good as the other one. But at the same time, hey, look, they are doing the job. So why not? And then, of course, you know, we have a little bit of, every time we make our reflection, we have always two tones, okay? One tone that is darker, the one that is closer to the white, and then another tone that is a little bit lighter, okay? That's always we do that. Then I put a little bit extra here to make a better transition. And then we have here, as you can see, the light part here. Okay, so as we said, I make a section here, and then I have my glass, okay, and then I have my cylinder with a little bit, with a little bit of the highlight thing, okay, and then my wheels is here somewhere. Okay, so we said the light is coming here, and then it's coming here. And starting this point, which is the breaking point, in this point, then it's dark. Therefore, I take my marker and I put it here, you see, and here. And for the glass, the breaking point is here, because there it's starting to turn. So that's where I put my side reflection. All right? And this is center line, okay? This is the center line. Okay, and this is our ground line. Okay, so this is very basic. Hey, Sunshine, really exciting, my first class. Okay, I'm very happy, Sunshine, that you are there. And I suggest you to subscribe to my channel, okay? You can follow me also on Instagram at Luciano Bove 1, okay, with the number 1 at the end. I was saying to all those that probably don't know that tomorrow there will be a video on Crown Unfiltered, okay, channel here on YouTube, and it's an interview, the latest interview that I got, and I was very, very happy about it. Okay, so now what happens when we do in perspective, okay? So first of all, I put my 2 lines, okay? Ciao Razvan, welcome back. I put my 2 lines that go to the right vanishing point, okay? Right vanishing point. And of course here we have a left vanishing point. That's a perspective, right? You all know that, okay? So I make my wheels, all right? Of course, the minor axis is going to the vanishing point, okay? Don't forget that. All right? So this is very important when you start your car, because you want to make sure that you have the right perspective, okay? So now I'm gonna try to make a very simple shape, okay? Okay, as you can see, I stay basic because I don't want to talk about creativity, but it's more about how we organize things when we make our sketch, okay? And then of course I have my glass following the perspective, and then I have my center line that in general is here, you see? So this is the center line, this one. And it's important when you make your first sketch to put your center line, because as we said, it's the best way to understand how we can compare the left part and the right part of your car in perspective without making big mistakes. For example, if I have a light here, okay, like that, then I know that it's gonna be here a little bit compressed, okay? All right? You see, it is in perspective. Now I give a little bit of roundness, okay? Look. All right, now another thing that we have to do is also make those wheels a little bit bigger and think about the shape, the shadow. And the shadow also has to follow also has to follow the perspective, you see? So I will take now the black, because I want really to knock down that shadow so that I can see it. It will help me to understand better what I'm doing. Okay, I go fast, huh? All right. And then of course here, all right, so now let's take a little bit this sketch, okay? Where we are making now this part here, the top number one cylinder. As you can see, in side view, we have that reflection. In perspective, it's going to be the same thing. So it comes here. You see? There you have it. Then in the back, the reflection is a little bit open at the bottom and a little bit narrow on top, because this one here, this part, it's a part of a big conic shape. So this one and the front windshield, okay, they are very similar because they are conic shapes. They come from the cone, okay? Okay? And if I take my red pencil, that's my windshield. You understand? You see? And here is the same thing. Of course, the size of the conic shape is gonna be different, but the principle is the same. Conic shape, conic shape. The top is a cylinder because we have a surface that is doing like this. All right? And the back part also, it's part of a big cylinder, you know, like that. You see? You see? Now, the side, as we said, this is the cylinder number one and this is the cylinder number two. So the side, it's gonna be like this. You see? Wait, I put the camera a little bit higher so that it's easier to understand. Okay, and now we come, you know, to the most interesting part, which is our side. Now, according to this side view here, according to this one, which is very basic, very simple, that's what we have. First reflection, we said it's here. And then we have at the bottom this highlight surface, this one. Okay, let's take the marker and let's do them. And after I will put the sections so that you can see. I'm sure you will understand right away. Can you see? Now let's see what type of section we have here. We have this one and this one. Can you see? You see? Now, this is very important to understand, because when we go and check what's happening down here, you can see how the section is changing here. It's picking up the light like the top, and it is exactly this part here and this part here and this part here, the light. Ciao Pinga, welcome back to YouTube. All right, so this is just to remember how we proceed. Okay, is it everything clear until now? Please let me know, because if it's not, I am here to explain again. Okay, then I will make another sketch. All right, so now what I would like to do with you is some sort of side view sketches, just to show you, okay, okay, the objective here is to do a section here that is really different from the usual. You know? So instead of doing the classical cylinder as we did here, which is what we do at the beginning when we have to learn, okay? What if we do something that is doing this and then is doing this? And then down here, because we still would like to have, how can I say, a light point, okay, to pick up the light, because it's gonna help the proportions to look much better. We do something that is like this, this, and this. Okay, so when I do that, then let's not forget our reflections on the glass, which is classical, because this is a cylinder, a classical cylinder, almost always, okay? So I take my black marker to do the top one, okay? All right, I do the same thing here. to put a little bit of shadow. All right. Now I will take my red felt tip pen and I will try to sketch the sections to understand if what I'm doing here, it could really be nice, you know. For example, there's another thing that I would like to do, you know, now that I look at it, okay, to also treat the front. Because the front, maybe you can do something like this, like that. You know? And this one be a little bit more longer, like that. Okay, so let's draw the sections. Ciao Patricio! ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo va España? So the first thing is that we have a section here that is doing this, and this one it's a classical cylinder, okay? But when it comes here, has been cut, you know, really cut. Like you take a knife and you cut that cylinder, you cut it, you know, with a knife. So the section goes down. You see? And then, of course, because we have that picking up light, this one is gonna be outside. And then it goes down straight again before turning under the car. Okay? Alright, so let's make this. Let's see what happens. Here it's gonna be the same. Here it's gonna be the same. I mean, this is a cylinder. And then here it's gonna change. Because the surface, it's going to be cut higher, you know? It's like this big cylinder, and here we just cut. So the top, it's gonna be always that cylinder, you know? And then it comes down. And what happens down here, that it will go underneath a little bit. So here, in reality, we have this. You see? Now let's keep on going in the front. All right, now on top it's gonna be the classical cylinder for the glass. In general, the glass cylinder is given by the technical department because they know how that glass has to go inside the door panel. Okay, so here you have an idea of how it's gonna be that side. But to make sure that we do understand, okay, I will draw a section here. Oops. I will draw another section here. You see? Now let's take the marker and let's apply the reflection. Of course, if the light is coming from the top, this is all in shadow. Almost in shadow. Okay. Can you read? So this is another example how you can, when you work over your sketches, you know, how you can reason with your head to make sure that you don't make big mistakes. Okay, now if I take a light blue, okay, a very light blue, let me find my favorite light blue. Here we go. And I have to put the sky will be here on top. And a little bit in this area. A little bit here. Can you see? Ciao Waldo, sto bene, grazie. I am fine, thanks. And because we said that the gray part, the reflection, has two tones, one a little bit darker, in this case I take the same marker and I go over twice, okay, in the top part. And of course, I do this part darker because this is really a little bit more in shadow. The top part is a little bit darker because it's turning, okay? And then down here is picking up a little bit of light. That's why that gray is a little bit lighter there. Okay, I hope that this is clear to you. So, when there's another thing that I have to tell you. Now, let's imagine that we do our our wheel. Okay, so because the section of this wheel it's like this, light, shadow. So I take my gray, Then I take my light for the color for the sky, and I put it a little bit here. Just a little, not too much. Sorry. Then I go again and I make it darker, just really the darkest spot of that little section here. You see? Between the copy and other Chinese replicas. Yes, Valdo, there are. But those Chinese marker I'm using now because I really would like to, for them, you know, to make space between my marker space, so that I can get more copics. All right. So if I had to put my highlights, okay, which I will do with a different color. Let's say that I use a green color, okay. I would put them here, highlights, here, going a little bit high here, I would put it here, I would put it here and here with this axe, and I would do the same thing on the front wheel. Maybe a little bit here, maybe. Okay. Allora, the sky color, it is used because, as you know, when we have a car and we have a section of a car, we have the sun, okay, and then we have shadow, and then we have the sky. So the highlight have the sunlight, I would say, so it's a kind of warm light. But we have also the sky tone that goes onto the body of the car. You know, it reflects inside the paint of the car. And therefore, we have to show it, you know. We have to show it. Now, wait a second. While you watch this, I'm gonna search for a nice sketch I made before, and I'll show you all this, okay? Just wait. Look at this while I search for a nice sketch. Yeah, this one, for example. This one. Let's pick up this one. You see? Here you can see better. Because here we have the highlights, we have everything here, okay? You can see also my side section, the main cylinder, and that's how I break the cylinder, okay, with this highlight. And then here we have the sky on the top, okay? This is an area which is cold area, and that's why all the colors I'm using here, the violet, the blue sky, they are cold color. And when we show warm and cool, we have to put them one against each other, so the opposite side. So in this case, I put my cool color on the left, therefore the sun is coming from the back. You know, it's like the sun now is coming down, you know, it's sunset. And therefore it's orangey, yellow, low in the low part of the car, and then it fades out in the area where in reality on the other side we have the cold light environment. Okay, Sashank, I hope that I answered to your question. Okay, so I would like you to tell me if you are happy with what we did today. Okay, wait a second. Anybody wrote anything else? No. Okay, so here we are again. So I wanted to give you this complement of information, you know, about how we really work the sections. Okay, so this is we always start from cylinders because that's how the car is formed. It is a cylinder that is making the car. Here on our side view we can see it better, okay? And you can see the first cylinder and the second cylinder. And then we decide to do something with this main cylinder to create a nice side view, basically. So I made you this in perspective so that you can understand with the red sections how the whole shape it's really working with a very simple cylinder shape. And then we did something a little bit more complicated, saying I have a cylinder and I want to cut it, okay? Because I want to create a different type of side view. Okay, this is just a very basic example to show you that when you put your lines on your side views, you have to think about that line, what is doing to your cylinder. In this case, it's really changing the section, as you can see, and the sections are it's a cylinder, it's a broken, which is okay, it's fine, okay, no big deal. And it helps to create a sculpture, okay? Now, if you look at the very modern, trendy electric cars done by Neo, Lucid Motors and others, and you look at really carefully about those side views, okay, you will realize that there are the cylinders I'm talking about and how they work the sections of those cylinders to make those really nice tense surfaces, okay? And then I showed you about how you can make a sort of a top view with this type of line coming down, okay? So the cylinder here, it's round, it's bigger, and now it's a little bit smaller because I'm changing that section, you see? And with the cut line of the door, you can understand how that section is, you see? I agree, Defect, thank you. Well, if you were very happy, you want to hit the super sticker button to offer me a coffee, that would be very nice, thank you. Just in case you want to give a contribution to the channel, thank you. Cascade Ideas, ciao, welcome back. Okay, and then here we talked also about warm light and cool light, okay? Don't forget that when we have an object like a car, okay, like this one, if we have the sun here, on the other side we have the moon. So here you have the light, the warm light, and on the other side it's the night that is coming up, because the moon comes up and the sun comes down, the sunset. So that's why some beautiful renderings and beautiful pictures of cars, they have, you know, they have the orangey color on the reflections because the sunset is there, like the Californian sunset. But they have a violet or very cold blue in this area because it comes from the moon light and the sky tone that is very, very cold. In fact, it's an indigo blue type of color that is used, or violet, okay, purple. But on the other side, and you have the warm. That's why we have the contraposition between the warm light and the cool light. You can never have warm and cool on the same area, on the same face. Impossible. Because if you do, it means that you have two light bulbs, okay? One is violet and one is yellow. And they are like two spotlights, okay? On the same object in the same area. But that's artificial. When we show sketches that are like this, we are representing a little bit the reality. You know, the sunset is here, and here there is the moon coming up. Okay? I hope that this was good for you, really. Okay? That was easy. Hey, Joito36, ciao! Just in case you didn't do it yet. Alright? Thank you very much, and bye-bye!